Hello, this is Magical Lady Duchess, and this is my video today on I was adopted. This is kind of different from what I normally do, but I think that it's necessary for people to really know who you are, for them to get an understanding of who you are. And so I wanted to share this with you guys. So I decided to do this video. Please don't be too harsh, but I think that it needed to be done. And here goes. Most of you know, as I tell you, that my great aunt raised me, not my biological mother. And in the reference in this video, I will call my great aunt my mother, and I will refer to my biological mother as Carol because that's her name. So, when I was 3 days old, I'm gonna go back. My Carol had already had two children before me, and I believe she was 19 when she was pregnant with me. And so she told my great aunt, who didn't have any living children, that if she was pregnant and if she wanted a baby, she was going to give her to me. And if I didn't take her, she was going to give it to somebody else. This was the story that I was told. It doesn't necessarily have to be true because, you know, truth has many definitions to it. But this is a story that I was told by my great aunt. And so when I was born, Carol came to the house with my mom, and when she left me. She left me with them. I used to have a lot of hatred and resentment. I had a fear of everything. I had a fear of stop. I had a fear of love. I had a fear of rejection. I had a fear of all of that because of me being adopted. And now Carol says that she came back and she tried to get me and my mom wouldn't let her. But I just don't believe that in a way, because I feel like if that is the truth, then, and you didn't have any legality, paperwork or anything like that at that time, then you could have came and got me, because that's kidnapping. People are not like groceries or non-human things. They not. Like, you can't say, well, I left my pen over there, that's my pen now. No, it's a human being. You know, her name not even on my birth certificate. So I always kind of felt like when she told me that, it was kind of like bullshit to me, because I felt like if you really wanted me, you would have did what you need to do. But in retrospect, my mother was on drugs and stuff too at that time. And I don't know if that played a part in it or not. I don't know. But I do know that she was on drugs and stuff. And let me say this. I didn't have like an awful life, but I did go through a lot of things. And a lot, like, for instance, my great aunt would throw up in my face that who my mom was. Your mama a hoe, and she a drug head, and you're going to be just like her. And it was a way to manipulate me. You know, she would say, if you don't stop doing this and you don't stop doing that, I'm going to call and she's going to come get you. Well, after threatening me so much with curling like that, I was like, shit, call her. Because it got to be better than this shit over here. Okay. And so it kind of made me learn how to fight, like, really early on with my words, because I feel like even though I didn't know my mother, I didn't have a relationship with her per se, my biological mother. I felt like I had to defend her too, because I was like, you know, you don't really know, and whatever the case may be. And then when I turned 18, I actually went looking for my biological mother. And keep in mind now, throughout the years, my mom, before I found out who my biological and my mother was, I remember my mom letting me go over to their house. And I'll never forget it. I went over there and it was breakfast time and she was feeding them cereal. And I remember that she used to smoke cigarettes and cuss a lot. I remember that. And so I'm like, I don't like her. And so I'm sitting there and I'm eating the cereal, and the chair is too short for the table. And so the bowl falls into my lap. And when it falls into my lap, my sister, who doesn't really care for me, that she did raise, she's my older sister by 2 years. I remember her wiping me down, and I was like, well, I'm hungry. And this is during the time we didn't have cell phones and pagers and stuff. So it's the house phone or nothing, you know. And so I couldn't call my aunt. I couldn't call her to come get me. You know, I couldn't do that. So think after that, I think my sister gave me a piece of bread or something. And I remember thinking, I hate it over here. I can't wait to go home. And then I had to pee. And when I went to go pee, their bathroom was so nasty that I tried to go outside and pee. And I wound up peeing on myself. So just imagine my great aunt, my mom coming to get me, and I'm like pissing hungry. And I remember she cried as she drove us home, and she was like, I'll never let you go back over there again. And she was like, I'm sorry that happened to you. And I'm like, well, why you tripping? It's okay. You know, I don't like her. And she was like, well, I don't want you not to like her. And I'm going to tell you why one day. Well, that day came, and she told me who my biological mother was. And, you know, I was really hurt and I felt lied to. And that's why I'm so big on telling the truth and not lying to people, because I know how they feel, because I was lied to like that. And it seemed like after my aunt that raised me, after she told me who I was and who my mother was, it's like our relationship changed too. You know, she became very mean and hateful sometimes. And it devastated me. That whole thing like devastated me over and over and over again. Because if I would do wrong, she would say, you just like your whole ass mama. She would say, you just like your whole ass mama. And I found myself, excuse me, y'all. I found myself defending my biological mother because I was like, stop talking about her. So when I was 18 years old, I went to find her, right? So I found her and everything, and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And I tried, and I have tried over the years. You know, I'm 37 years old. The sad thing about it is they really have like this negative connotation about me. And I'm not a hateful person. I'm not a mean. I will say I used to be kind of mean. Okay. I used to be mean as fuck. But it was because I had so much anger, so much hostility in me. Who wants to walk around knowing that their mama didn't want them? Because if that's not how I was, that was definitely it was seen to me that I wasn't wanted. And so that make you settle, because anybody will do at this point. You know, you raise them with rejection. And you know, my mother, you know, God rest her soul, you know, she was a very negative person, very dark, you know, and everything was about manipulation. People, her husband, me, everything. And if she couldn't control it, you know, she'd beat it out of you. And I suffered a lot at her hands. I had a baby at 15 years old that many people don't even know about. And it was through me being molested by a family member. And my mom blamed me. And she said it was my fault. She said, if you didn't look the way you looked, and I never understood what that meant, it never would have happened to you. I have a daughter that's here somewhere. You know, she 23, 24. I heard her cry, and they took her from me. And that didn't help. And I'm going to tell y'all something. If y'all want to get to the root of y'all problem, you got to get to the root of it. The root of my problem... Move, Lucy, shit. The root of my problem was I never felt like I was good enough for anything. And it was because I was giving away. And I don't regret any of it. And this video is not a sad video. It's an empowering video to let you know that you can get through it. You can make it. You can feel better about yourself. So for all those who are going through anything like that, you know, if I can make it, you can. If I can find joy, you can too. I promise. It's not that hard. You just got to do the work. I thought hers might have coming. I had to do the work, and you have to too. You know, my mother and I, my biological mother and I, we don't really have like a really close relationship like she had with other children, and it's understandable why. You know, but if she's sick or anything like that, and I know about it, of course I'm gonna be there. But you know, my other brothers and sisters really don't include me in everything, so I never really know what's going on unless I'm on Facebook and I just so happen to see it in my news feed. You know. My family do know about me being a witch. I don't know if they have something to do with it because I just now become open with it. So maybe it's just me. I don't know. But all I'm saying is I just wanted to share my story of adoption. And how it has affected me. I have a 20-year-old, and it just makes me love her even more, especially knowing that I have a child out there somewhere, and I don't know where, who, how, what's going on with her. And I hope, and my prayer is that the love that I give to this 20-year-old, that somebody's giving it to my other daughter, and they loving her so hard. And even if I never get to see her or I never get to meet her, I just pray that she has this beautiful, wonderful life because she deserves it. And I want you guys to know is that you don't have to look like to what you've been through, because you'll never look at me and think something like that. But it's true, and it happened. But it made me to be a better mother, a better wife, a better friend, a better person, because I know both sides. And I will say this as well. Love yourself regardless of whatever, because I had to learn how to do that. And it was not easy. Like getting past yourself and getting past everything and loving, because regardless if my mom ever sees this video, I love her. And I'm not saying anything to make it seem like I don't, because I do. I have another story about my mom. When I was 16, I was working at Popeye's Chicken. I worked there 2 days. She came in, I took her order, and she didn't even know who I was. I gave her money, I gave her food, and I'm just standing there thinking, she gotta know it's me, right? She gotta know it's me. She gonna recognize me, but she didn't, because she was under the influence of drugs and everything else. That was my first day, and I think my second day, it was the last day, whatever it was. And I was really affected by it. And all that stuff made me very bitter. It made me very angry. But I learned how to push through and get past it. And you can too. Love is a beautiful thing. And to be able to share it and give it, it is a gift within itself. So, blessed be to you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for all my subscribers. I appreciate the love, the respect, everything that you give to me, because it means a lot. The seeds that you plant will blossom, whether they are good seeds or bad seeds. They're going to blossom and harvest. So I pray that everyone plants good seeds, because that's all that I want to do. I love you. I thank you. You can find me on Facebook at Infinite Energy. That's my group. It's a small group. That's my group. I also have you can email me or check out my website. My website is www.magicalLadyDuchess.com. That's MAGCKAL, LadyDuchess.com. Or you can email me at magicalLadyDuchess@gmail.com, and magical is MAGCKAL, LadyDuchess.com. I love you. I appreciate it. You can find all that information at the bottom in the subscription. And I just wanted to share my story about being adopted and what that meant to me and what it means to me. I believe that it was a gift. And had it not been for my great aunt, I would not be the witch that I am today, because she was the one who blessed me with this gift. She made a blood sacrifice for me to have it. There was a sacrifice on my behalf that I made too. But, she gave me something that I have been able to use my whole life. I was very afraid to use it at first because she was so dark, but I realized I don't have to be that way, because I found my balance. I love you. Blessed be. Any questions, comments, concerns, please share, like, subscribe. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. Blessed be.